Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, and we're doing another armor video. Today it's going to be a little bit different than the ones we've already done. We are in Act 2, which is basically all the storyline that happens in the Cuanacht region, which is the second region of the map after the Horns of the South. And I've collected what I'm pretty sure is all of the blue quality armor, and instead of doing I almost said something weird, 3 separate videos like I did for the first act in the first region, we're just going to do all of them here. So I have 16 different sets of armor, and we're going to be going through them from worst to best based on mostly just armor value. So obviously some of these will be light, some will be medium, some will be heavy, and you'll see that as we go through. So we're just going to start off with number 16. All right, so starting us off at number 16, which is the worst one that I found in this category, we have a suit of light armor called the Corrupted Oracle's Armor. So this one is made up entirely of pieces that can be found on the Corrupted Oracle. So it is one that you'll get from killing a boss. So this one is made up of, it is 5 pieces, but it does not come with boots. So we have the Corrupted Oracle's headdress, the Corrupted Oracle's vestments, the Corrupted Oracle's belt, the Corrupted Oracle's adornments, and we have a shoulder piece, or whatever you call it, basically where the cape usually goes. And there we have the wings of the Oracle. So our total armor on this one is 15%, our total weight is 6.7 kilograms, and our rating is light. So as far as the perks on these, the wings of the Oracle increase magical critical chance by 10%, the headdress increases magical critical chance by 5%, the vestments increase magical critical chance by 10%, the belt increases magical critical chance by 5%, and the adornments increase magical critical chance by 5%. Keep in mind, as is the case with every single set that you're going to see in this video, you can improve all of the stats in this suit of armor, so you can upgrade and improve their armor value, and you can also remove their weight. I have not done that, just so you can see them as close to stock as you can in this video. So that's number 16. Let's move on to number 15. Coming on to number 15, we've got another suit of light armor, which is the Oracle's Armor. This one is a full 5-piece suit made up of the Prophet's Cowl, which has 1 armor and increases spell power by 100% when below 13% max health. The Prophet's Shroud, which has 5 armor and increases magic critical chance by 100% when below 13% max health. The Prophet's Breeches, which have 4 armor and increase max mana by 100 when below 13% max health. The Prophet's Boots, which have 3 armor and increase mana regeneration by 25 when below 13% max health. And the Prophet's Gloves, which have 2 armor and increase critical damage by 100% when below 13% max health. So this suit has an armor of 15%, has a weight of 3.5 kilograms, and is in the light armor class. So you can see it is definitely a magic-based armor, and it looks halfway decent. So that's number 15. Let's move on to number 14. At number 14, we have the Voidweaver's Armor, which you can see is not a complete 5-piece set. It is only 3 pieces. This is another one that you get off a person that you can kill during the story. It's made up of the Voidweaver's Shroud, which has 5 armor and increases spell power by 15% and consumes 1.5 mana per second. The Voidweaver's Mantle, which has 7 armor, increases spell power by 20% and consumes 2 mana per second. And the Voidweaver's Arm Wraps, which have 4 armor, increase spell power by 5% and consumes 0.5 mana per second. So the total armor on this one is 16%. The total weight is 7 kilograms. And it is in the light armor class. So you can see it's another battle mage type suit of armor. If you want to complete it, you do have some extra slots that you could fill with other stuff, but that is the Voidweaver's Armor. Let's move on to our next one. Coming in at number 13, we have the Tainted Priestess Armor, which you can see is maybe better suited for a feminine form, but of course can be worn by either. This one is made up of full 5 pieces. So we have the Tainted Priestess's Veil with 3 armor and increases max mana by 10%. The Tainted Priestess's Robe, which has 4 armor, increases max mana by 10%. The Tainted Priestess's Leg Covers, which has 5 armor and increases max mana by 10%. The Tainted Priestess's Shoes, which have 2 armor and increase your max mana by 10%. And the Tainted Priestess's Gloves, which have 2 armor and increase max mana by 10%. So this has an armor of 16%, a total weight of 5.5 kilograms, and is also in the light armor class. And of course, this one can be obtained through killing any of the Tainted Priestesses in the dungeon where you do that. So that's number 13. Let's move on to number 12. At number 12, we've got another partial set. This one is the Dryadskin Armor. So this one you can see is also just 3 pieces, the helmet, body, and gloves. It does not have pants or boots that go with it, so you can fill those in with whatever you so choose. But just for the pieces we have here, keep in mind our stats are a little bit higher for the armor value because these are a crafted piece, and so they were crafted at a higher level because my crafting level is higher in the game. So the Dryadskin Crest, which is the helmet, normally has 6 armor and increases lifesteal by 1%. The Dryadskin Husk normally has 9 armor and increases lifesteal by 1%. And the Dryadskin Gauntlets typically have 4 armor and increase your lifesteal by 1%. The normal armor value for this one is normally 19%, and we have a total weight of 6 kilograms, and it does go within the light armor section. So that is the Dryadskin armor, like I said, a partial set, but it looks pretty cool and very unique, and definitely starts crossing over into something that, yes, you could use for magic, but you could also use for a lot of other things. So that is number 12. Let's move on to number 11. At number 11, we have the Nightstalker armor, which has sort of a roguish, assassin-y, bad guy type of look to it. This one is a full 5-piece set, and it's made up of the Nightstalker's Mask, which has 4 armor and increases magic critical chance by 3%. The Nightstalker's Tunic, which has 7 armor and increases magic critical chance by 5%. The Nightstalker's Trousers, which have 5 armor and increase magic critical chance by 4%. The Nightstalker's Boots, which have 3 armor and increase magic critical chance by 2%. And the Nightstalker's Gloves, which have 4 armor and increase magic critical chance by 1%. This set has a total armor of 23% and a weight of 4.3 kilograms, and it is in the light armor category. So that's the Nightstalker's armor at number 11. Let's move on to number 10. At number 10, we have the Armor of the Hollow Sun, which I believe is the rewards for this region's Druidic shrines. So just like in the first region, we had a set that you got 1 piece for doing an offering at each Druidic shrine around the map. This one is the one I believe you get for the Cuanacht region. So this one is also 5 pieces, and it's made up of the following pieces. The Halo of the Hollow Sun, which has 5 armor, and it says critical hits make your target bleed. The Harness of the Hollow Sun, which has 7 armor, and it says receiving damage makes the attacker bleed. Garb of the Hollow Sun, which has 5 armor and increases your stamina regeneration by 0.3 for every stack of bleed on nearby enemies. The Boots of the Hollow Sun, which have 5 armor and increase your movement speed multiplier by 1% for every stack of bleed on nearby enemies. And the Bindings of the Hollow Sun, which have 5 armor and increase your attack speed by 1% for every stack of bleed on nearby enemies. So it's a fairly good suit of armor as far as perks go. Obviously, stats are less important because you can upgrade those, so the perks on this one are pretty cool. The first 2 make you deal a lot more bleed against your enemies, and the other ones make you your stamina regenerate faster, your movement speed get higher, and your attack speed get higher for however much bleeding that you've dealt to all the enemies in your area. So it's very, very effective for that regard. As far as stats on it, it has a total armor of 27% and a weight of 6.6 kilograms, and it is in the light armor category. So that is number 10, the Armor of the Hollow Sun. Let's move on to number 9. Next up at number 9, we have the Haymaker's armor, which is another one that is incomplete. So for some reason, we only have, basically just no pants, which is interesting. But anyway, this suit is made up of the following pieces. We have the Haymaker's Crown, which has 9 armor here because it's +2, but typically it has 7 armor and increases your attack speed by 7%. The Haymaker's Bone Cage, which has 9 armor normally and increases attack speed by 12%. No pants. We have the Haymaker's Boots, which typically have 5 armor and increase your attack speed by 8%. And the Haymaker's Talons, which typically have 7 armor and increase your attack speed by 7%. So normally on this suit of armor, the total weight is 3.5 kilograms and the armor is 28%. Here we've also added in the Peasant's Basket, which is not part of the same crafting set, but it goes with them because the place that you go to get the crafting materials you need to craft these things, the enemies there will oftentimes drop these baskets, and I think it adds into it by a significant amount. And the Peasant's Basket just increases encumbrance limit by 10, so it's useful. It does look silly, but with this suit of armor, it matches. As far as how to do this suit of armor, like I said, this is a craftable one, which you can see by the fact that some of these are upgraded. My crafting level is higher, so when I crafted them, they were not crafted at, the regular level. So that's the Haymaker's set, or the Haymaker's armor at number 9. Let's move on to number 8. Here at number 8, we have the Burrower's armor, which you can see equipped here. It's definitely a gross looking set. This is another one that you craft, once you have the schematics for it, that is, and it is another one that is incomplete, so there's no pants and there's no boots for this set. But we do get the following pieces. We have the Burrower's Maw, which is the helmet. Typically this has 9 armor and reduces your noise by 25%. The Burrower's Hide, which usually is 12 armor and increases your max stamina by 24. The Burrower's Talons, which are usually 8 armor and increase attack speed by 19%. And the Burrower's Cape, which doesn't provide any armor but increases your sneak damage by 31%. Well, at least at +2. I assume it's probably a couple percentage points lower when it's at its normal one. So at the base level, the armor for this one is 29%, and the weight is 12 kilograms without the cape, 15 with it. So that is the Burrower's armor. I am not a fan of the way this one looks. Stats are pretty solid. It does fall in the medium armor category as far as the weight is concerned for it, so until you've lightened up the weight. But that is number 8, the Burrower's armor. Let's move on to number 7. At number 7, we have the Ravenous Armor, which is another incomplete set. So once again, you see we do not not have pants. At least on this set, it doesn't look too weird. Definitely looks a little weird, but it's not as bad as some of them have been. So this one's made up of the Ravenous Helm, which typically has 8 armor and increases your physical damage by 24%. The Ravenous Plate, which typically has 10 armor and increases physical damage by 31%. Again, no pants. We have the Ravenous Boots, which usually have 6 armor and increase your physical damage by 16%. And the Ravenous Claws, which usually have 7 armor and increase your physical damage by 13%. So the armor for the Ravenous Armor is usually 31% with these 4 pieces, and the total weight is 14 kilograms until you've, reduced the weight. So I like the Ravenous Armor a little bit more than some of the other craftable sets, but this one is another one that in the Cuanacht region from the smith here, you can get a book that will give you the schematics or the ability to craft these pieces of armor. So that is number 7. Let's move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6, we have the Horned Warden's Armor, which is another boss armor set, so you get this one for killing the Horned Warden. At least I'm pretty sure that's how you get it. This one is made up of 5 pieces, so we have the Horned Warden's Mask, which has 7 armor, increases health regeneration by 3 when your mana is below 15%, increases mana generation by 3 when your health is below 15%, and increases magic critical chance by 10%. The Horned Warden's Vestments, which have 8 armor, increase spell power by 10% when your health is below 25%, increase mana regeneration by 100%, and increases your critical damage by 0.1. The Horned Warden's Breeches, which have 6 armor, increase magic critical chance by 20% when your health is below 20%, and increase your critical damage by 20% when your health is below 20%. The Horned Warden's Boots, which have 5 armor, increase movement speed multiplier by 25% when your mana is below 33%, and increase critical damage by 25%. And the Horned Warden's Gloves, which have 5 armor, decrease mana cost by 25% when your health is below 15%, and increase magic critical chance by 10%. This set has an armor of 31%, a weight of 6.5 kilograms, and it falls in the light armor category. So that is the Horned Warden's Armor, which comes in at number 6. Let's move on to number 5. At number 5, we have the Arcanist's Armor, which is another total set. So this one's made up of 5 pieces. The Arcanist's Hat, which has 6 armor, increases mana shield by 15%, and increases mana regeneration by 1.5. The Arcanist's Tunic, which has 8 armor, increases mana shield by 15%, and increases mana regeneration by 1. The Arcanist's Breeches, which have 7 armor, increases mana shield by 10%, and increases mana regeneration by 0.5. The Arcanist's Boots, which have 4 armor, increase mana shield by 10%, and increase mana regeneration by 0.25. The Arcanist's Gauntlets, which have 6 armor, increase mana shield by 10%, and increase your mana regeneration by 0.5. So this has a total armor of 31%, a weight of 6.3 kilograms, and it is in the light armor class. So that's the Arcanist's Armor. And number 5, let's move on to number 4. Starting off our top 4, we have the Druid's Bane Armor, which you can see is real edgelordy. It probably wouldn't feel so edgelordy if it wasn't for the ridiculous hat, but other than that, it definitely has the vibe of a medium suit of armor. So this one is a 5-piece one. It's made up of the Druid's Bane hat, which has 6 armor, increases all damage you deal by 15%. This effect is doubled against enemies that use magic, and it fully inhibits your mana regeneration. The Druid's Bane coat, which has 8 armor, increases mana shield by 50% and fully inhibits your mana regeneration. The Druid's Bane Greaves, which have 7 armor, receiving magical damage restores 30% of it as stamina, and it fully inhibits your mana regeneration. The Druid's Bane Boots, which have 6 armor, receiving magical damage restores all of your optimal dashes, and fully inhibits your mana regeneration. And the Druid's Bane Gauntlets, which have 6 armor, dealing damage to enemies that use magic restores 50% of it as mana, and it fully inhibits your mana regeneration. So this one is definitely not suitable for a mage to use this one, but it works very well against magic wielding enemies, at least, if you're spec'd for that. So the stats for this one are an armor of 33%, a weight of 12.5 kilograms, and it is in the medium armor class. So that's the Druid's Bane Armor at number 4. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have our single solitary set of heavy armor from the second region, at least in the blue quality, and at least that I found. If you found another suit of heavy armor in this region, let me know. But this one is the Duel Knight's Armor. It is made up of 5 matching pieces, which are the Duel Knight Helmet, which has 6 armor, increases max health by 25, and increases incoming healing by 25%. The Duel Knight Armor, which has 11 armor, increases physical damage by 33% when your health is below 25%, and increases attack speed by 50% when your stamina is below 50%. The Duel Knight Trousers, which have 8 armor, and increase max stamina by 25 when your health is below 25%, and increase critical damage by 25%. The Duel Knight Boots, which have 5 armor, decrease dash stamina cost by 5, and increase movement speed multiplier by 10% when your stamina is below 75%. The Duel Knight Gloves, which have 6 armor, and increase enemy stamina loss after a successful parry by 100% and increase attack speed by 25%. So pretty solid stats across the board, and of course great perks for, you know, melee combat. Our total armor here at the base level is 36%. We have a weight of 26 kilograms, and it, like I said, is in the heavy category, making it the only blue quality suit in the heavy category for Act 2, at least that I've found so far. So that is number 3. Let's move on to number 2. At number 2, we have the Queen's Armor, or the Royal Armor, however you want to, you know, call it, or you could call it the Royal Queen's Armor. This one is a matching set of 5 pieces taken off of a boss that you kill during a story mission. It is made up of the Queen's Crown, which has 8 armor, increases spell power by 15%, and increases magic critical chance by 15%. The Royal Gown, which has 10 armor, increases spell power by 25%, and increases magic critical chance by 5%. The Royal Breeches, which have 8 armor, increase spell power by 10% and increase magic critical chance by 1%. The Royal Slippers, which have 6 armor, increase spell power by 5% and increase magic critical chance by 5%. And the Royal Gloves, which have 7 armor and increase spell power by 1% and increase magic critical chance by 10%. So that set in its entirety has an armor rating of 39%, a weight of 12 kilograms, and it falls in the medium armor class. So again, this is one that is more suited for the female form, but you can of course wear it as a male character. So that's number 2, the Queen's Armor. Let's move on to our best one at number 1. And our best suit of armor for this region is Percival's armor. So they've subverted expectations. The knight, the famous Arthurian Knight of the Round Table that you can find in this region, and of course take down. In the first region it was Galahad, and in this one it's Percival, which they've made a magic-wielding woman instead of a knight. So that's always fun. This one's made up of 5 pieces. The Percival's headpiece, which has 9 armor, increases melee damage by 10% while dual wielding and increases mana shield by 15%. The Percival's tunic, which has 11 armor and increases melee damage by 20% while dual wielding and increases mana shield by 20%. The Percival's dress, which has 10 armor, increases melee damage by 10% while dual wielding and increases mana shield by 15%. The Percival's boots, which have 7 armor, increase melee damage by 10% while dual wielding and increases mana shield by 10%. And the Percival's gauntlets, which have 8 armor and increases melee damage by 10% while dual wielding and increases mana shield by 10%. So I should have said hybrid, because yes, this when you run into Percival in the game, she will actually be dual wielding weapons and can also cast magic. But that's fair. You do get a set of matching swords from her as well. So that is Percival's armor, which is, like I said, the best stat-wise, and of course, if you want raw damage output, it's also tremendously good for that if you're dual wielding. So that is the number 1 best blue-ranked or blue-rated suit of armor that I found in the second region of Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. So that's all for today. Like I said, if I've missed any blue-rated ones, let me know. If you want to see all the white-rated ones from this region, I can show those as well. There's a lot more variety in that field, especially for heavy armor. But that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.